Okay. So can you see the text? Can you see me, right? Please let me know if you can see and hear everything.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so today we study logistics philosophies. So what is meant by that? It means there are different ways to do the same thing. For example, 2 plus 2 is 4, right? So there's no other way. I cannot do it differently. It's always like this, right? But for example, 2 plus x is 10, right? So x could be 8. X could be 4 times 2, right? So there are several possible ways. So logistics philosophy is how to do things efficiently, right? Or what's the best way to do things, right? Before, so example, before COVID, companies wanted everyone to come to work, right? And you would ask your boss, can I work from home? They would say, what? You would say, yeah, I can sit at home and do everything through Zoom or Skype. They would say, are you crazy? No, this is, you have to come to work. So everyone was driving to work, sitting in traffic, then driving back, right? Wasting time, gasoline. The company had to rent offices. In Thailand, it's hot, so they had to run air cons. In Norway, it's cold, so they had to heat it, right? So many things. But now companies are thinking, oh, perhaps there are different ways how to do it. So we let our employees to work from home, and maybe only some people come to the office, smaller office, and each supervisor will control 10 employees. We will see what they're doing at home, if they're really working or sleeping, right? They can see your screen, they can look at your face. And it's good for the employees maybe because they don't need to drive to work, waste gasoline, waste time. The company doesn't need huge offices. So yes, it's a different way to do the same thing, right? So employees are still working, the company is still working, but it's working differently. So it's a different approach, right? Philosophy, different approach, different understanding how to do it. So this word understanding, okay? You understand how to do things differently. It doesn't come immediately. At first, nobody could see different ways how to do things. But now, many companies see it. So this is like introduction. So let's look at, so for example, there's a famous concept, lean logistics. Okay, lean is opposite of what? Fat. So this is, something is fat, big, and something is lean, right? No fat, very efficient. So let's read. Waste is the basic concept of lean philosophy, right? So they're thinking to cut waste. Again, my example, a lot of waste, right? waste of money, right? We're wasting money to rent offices. People are wasting time. Companies wasting energy for heating or air conditioning. I'm wasting gasoline driving, right? The whole city is, stuck, everything is stuck in traffic. But we all have internet already at home, so why not let some people work from home? It's more efficient, right? If you can control your employees, not everyone, right? We cannot do hotel online. We cannot do certain things online. But for example, if you're an engineer or customer service representative, or you work with documents, why not work from home, right? This is better. So, lean logistics. Lean philosophy uses a number of simple concepts and tools to eliminate waste in all supply chain activities, right? We have supply chain, for example, again, supply chain. I'm a coffee shop, I sell coffee. So somebody brings me coffee beans, somebody roasts coffee beans, somebody stores coffee beans, somebody grows coffee beans, right? So we have a whole supply chain of supply, right? Chain of supply. So we look at the supply chain and we think, we're wasting energy here because these are two separate buildings and we have to drive cars, right? Why not have it all in one building? So we don't need extra cars driving. We will save money this way, okay? Let's find the farmers who can ship directly here, something like that. Lean manufacturing was introduced and implemented in the manufacturing era in the book The Machine That Changed the World by Womack. In this book, the models the Japanese were using in their car industry was conceptualized by the group of MIT. So first, after the war, Japanese and Americans and Germans. Okay, so the first cars were produced in maybe US and Germany. After the war, Germany was destroyed, right? And Japan was destroyed. Japan started building and Americans were producing cars. So, and they were competing. Who can do it faster, cheaper, more efficient, right? So Japanese were doing good job with Toyota and Honda. So they like, oh, what are Japanese doing that is so successful? Since then, lean concepts and tools have been adjusted and used in other areas, transportation and warehousing, right? So when you're transporting things like Thai Post Office, US Post Office, FedEx, DSL, DHL, and warehousing, right? We need to store things. They're using that model from Japan. Let's look and find ways where we have waste. True lean achievement requires major changes and improvement in the company. You see many companies now use the word, oh, lean, 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 but they don't really know what they're doing. But if you want true savings, you need to change many things in your company. For example, many companies are now working online, but they still want paper documents. Oh, can you bring your paper document or doctor note? So what, doctor needs to write a letter. I need to bring it to my supervisor. Why can't we do it online? Well, our company policy requires paper documents. So we need to change the company policy so that we can accept electronic documents, right? In manufacturing processes, changes cover all activities from design to actual manufacturing. Everything must be changed. Everything must be looked at. So, for example, I heard before some professors they had PowerPoint presentations, and then students would bring the thumb drive, and the teacher would copy it. Why not use Google Drive, right? Or Microsoft Drive, and have one file and share it with everyone, right? So this way you save time, and it's more efficient. If you change something, everyone can see the change. So let's look at philosophies before lean philosophy came to life. One of the most important philosophies that was accepted for many years is the just in case philosophy. Okay? Just in case. For many years, suppliers held extra inventory as safety stock in case products were needed, right? For example, you are running a coffee shop. Every day you sell 10 kilograms of coffee. So this is all you need, 10 kilograms. And the next day you need 10 kilograms. But you think, what if tomorrow I cannot have a delivery of coffee beans? What if something happens? So let's keep, so you just needed 70 kilograms per week. So you thought, okay, let's keep 150 kilograms. So extra, just in case. The Japanese believed by holding inventory kept management away from seeing manufacturing process problems such as bottlenecks and quality problems. They argued that keeping extra inventory is like the water of a deep lake. With the deep water, a captain is not worried, right? So they were saying, if you have extra stuff, you don't need to check. Oh, do we have enough coffee? Do we have enough, yeah, we have enough coffee, we have extra. Okay, so this is one approach. Keep extra stuff. And, maybe it's a good idea because look what is happening with COVID. Now there's delays, right? So if you thought you could have a delivery from China in 1 week, now it's 2 weeks, right? What if something will happen? It will be 3 weeks. So now people are moving back to just in case. We never know what will happen. To confront hello. And please, I cannot control you. Please listen to me. Don't watch YouTube at the same time. Don't play Facebook. Because if you're not listening to me, then when we have exam is hard. So in the exam, when I give you questions, it's for those who understand. So if you don't understand what I'm teaching right now, you cannot do the exam, and I can see that. And if you copy, and I warn you, if you copy things from your friends or from the internet and it looks like same sentences are coming, so it's 0. Okay. So then the Japanese have Kanban concept, Kanban, Toyota production system, okay, Kanban. The philosophy of Kanban is that parts and materials should be supplied right at the moment they're needed in the production process. So you have a factory, you're assembling cars, you don't keep inventory, they come to you when you need them. You have a coffee shop, it comes as you need it, right? But for that, the supply chain must be working really well, right? No traffic accidents, no COVID, airplanes flying, everything comes just in time. In fact, Kanban is a pull system, which means that parts needed for production must only be pulled through the chain in response to demand from the end consumer. So somebody somebody wants a car, they ordered 10 cars from you. You're the factory. Then the factory will call the suppliers. Okay, please send me wheels for 10 cars, mirrors for 10 cars, other parts for 10 cars. You assemble. This is what Dell Computer was doing, right? If they were selling a computer, they would call other suppliers, bring all the parts, assemble. Otherwise, if you have just in case, it's a lot of money, right? You have a stock of things, you paid for them, and now you're sitting. And what if you never sell it, right? What if you never sell it? Okay. So the problems of holding extra inventory. Volatile demand, right? Demand up and down. So if a volatile flying, right, like that. If you have extra inventory and no one is buying your stuff, your money is stuck there, right? You invest money in your inventory. Unreliable suppliers, right? If you cannot rely on them, then what will happen, right? You don't know, is it what's going on? Bottlenecks, right? Some problem and it's not moving. You know, everything is moving fast and then suddenly production is slow at some point, right? So for example, you come to Starbucks, right? The person who takes your orders is really fast. Okay, great, your order. And then the production is slower, right? They're making things. So it's a bottleneck. So the person who, the cashier is fast. The person who calls the, you know, oh, your order is done, come here, fast. But then the production, the coffee making process is slow. So you need extra people there, or everything must be ready just in case, right? So that this is a bottleneck. Quality of problems. If you have extra inventory, maybe it will get bad. Forecasts are important. You don't know how much extra you need to hold. 10% more, 200% more, 100, you don't know. So it all depends on forecast. You run a hotel. You have rooms, right? So you don't know how many rooms you need to prepare, how many people you need to hire. Depending on how many people stay in the hotel, you need to cook breakfast for them, right? Like buffet, but you don't know. If you cook too little, it's not enough. If it's too much, you waste money, right? So it depends on forecast. Now is high season, now is low season, now no season. In contrast, the conventional push system production is done according to schedules and available resources such as people, material, and machines regarding of whether or not the next step needs them at. So push system, you just produce. You don't care. You don't. We just make it and then, like, let's say a factory makes cars. Okay, we'll make 100 cars a day. That's it. I don't care who needs it or what, you know, we'll just produce it. In Kanban system, the aim is to meet demands right at the time they're ordered and not before. But in Kanban, you produce what is needed. In assembly lines, stages up to the chain provide needed parts. By reducing the Kanban quantity, the amount demanded from each workstation, bottlenecks gradually become apparent. So, okay, in Kanban, you produce only what is needed at that time. And then you can see what's the problem. Why is it slow there? Maybe, right? Bottleneck happens when one part is working very fast and another part is working slower, and then you have a bottleneck. Like when you go to see movies, right? They let everyone in, and then you all come to one guy who is checking the tickets, and then you have the line, right? So he is holding the whole process. So maybe they need 2 people standing there, or 3, right? So to move the line faster. Or when you go inside the airport, right? The doors are big, everyone is going, and and then by the time you come to check to board the plane, it's a bottleneck, right? One person at a time. They're checking the ticket, one person. So it's a line. So what they do, if it's a huge airplane, right, they will open 2 doors, like first class in, some people here, 1 door, maybe 3rd door, right, to reduce the bottleneck. Why? Because if it takes long time to board, the airplane is not flying, the airplane will be late. It's not good. The aim of Kanban is to reduce inventory to its minimum amount at every stage to achieve balanced supply chain, right? We don't need too much inventory. We just need, imagine if you assemble a car, right? You need many things. Should you keep them? For how many cars? How many things should you keep? Because if you don't use them, you need to send it back, right? So this is the important thing. So another philosophy, just in time. It's the extension of Kanban and linked purchasing, manufacturing, and logistics. The primary goals of just-in-time are inventory reduction, product quality and customer service improvement, and production efficiency maximization, right? We want to have less inventory, better quality, better customer service. In just-in-time system, the main focus is on achieving continuous improvement of the process and the quality, right? Every company must improve the process and quality. If you think everything is perfect, nothing to improve, really? And the quality, you always must try to improve the quality. That's why on your computers, on your smartphones, every month there's updates, update, right? Update your app. Why? What? My app is fine. No, we found some problem. We want to update. And sometimes after the update, it doesn't work. So they need to update again. And then some people are saying, and now it's even worse. So it's continual process to improve the product. No product is 100% perfect. That's why you have iPhone 10, iPhone 11, iPhone 12, until forever, because they're always trying to make it better, right? Improve. You need to collect information from customers. What do you like about the iPhone? Oh, I like this. What you don't like? Oh, I don't like that. Okay, so they write down, they collect information from many people. what is the problem, what are good things, what are bad things, and then they tell their engineers, right? So how just-in-time systems work? They achieve their goals by reducing inefficient and unproductive time in the production process, right? Something inefficient, right? You hire people and they're not working, they're just sitting, right? So maybe you don't need so many people. Unproductive time, right? So for example, when you call customer service, they help you, right? So the company is counting customer service, they are working for 8 hours, right? For how many minutes are they helping people and how many minutes they're sitting, right? They want them to work all 8 hours. Just in time changes many of the principles of the firm. For example, instead of concentrating on cost, quality is considered more, right? Quality is more than cost. Yes, someone is working for 8 hours, but they're not helping people, they're just talking to people, right? So better to help people than to be on the phone non-stop and not really helping them. Many suppliers thinking is replaced by few, many suppliers replaced by few suppliers with long-term open relationship. So you are a coffee shop, and before you were buying milk from this company, cookies from that company, coffee from this, water from that, and it's difficult, right? Because they all need to come to you, someone is late, so you think maybe I should all buy everything from one company. So on one hand it's good, right? You just receive one car, but then if there's a problem with that company, then you have a problem. Just in time philosophy, high quality customer service is more important than cost. In just-in-time systems, material control is based on the view that the process should be operate only on demand signal from the customer. Okay. Same thing like imagine you all went to coffee shops like for Starbucks. It's just in time. You come in, they're saying, how may I help you? And you say, I would like Americano coffee. Just in time. So they make it for you. So it's fresh and hot. They give it to you, right? Imagine if they prepared Americano and they're waiting and you come, I would like Americano. Here you go. It's faster, but it's not good quality, right? Because it's been made since morning. So when you fly on the airplane, right, they already have coffee for everyone. So, oh, you want coffee? They give you coffee that they already made. But the quality, it's quicker, but the quality is bad because it's not fresh. But at Starbucks, just in time. So Starbucks moved to the next stage. Now in, let's say in America, people are driving cars and they often order coffee drive-through, right? They come, they say, I would like Americano. Then they drive around. By the time they drive to the window, maybe their coffee is ready. But sometimes it's not, right? So then one car is standing, another car is standing, and then they're standing for like 10 minutes, slowly moving. So now what they do is they have app, right? As you're driving to your Starbucks, you can order what you want. So by the time you arrive, your coffee is ready. But again, if you come a little late, it's not hot. So this is just in time. Just in time has several benefits. 4 categories: inventory turnover improvement, customer service, warehouse reduction, response time improvement. Okay, I told you response time, right? Customers order something and it's done for them, right? So this is response time. Customer service, again, they like it because it's made for them. Maybe they come and say, I want Americano, but could you add more this or less that? So you don't need to do well, it doesn't relate to coffee, but if you do just in time, you don't need big warehouse because you receive and make, receive and make, receive. You don't need big storage. Inventory turnover. This is important word, turnover, right? So this is your warehouse, right? Where you store things, warehouse. Inventory comes in and then you take it to produce it and sell it, right? So turnover is how long inventory will stay, right? Inventory turnover. So it comes in and leaves, comes in and leaves. So if it's high turnover, it's good, right? Because it's not sitting. If it's sitting for 10 years, right? Let's say you ordered something 2 months ago, right? It's now old. So you want it fast. Inventory turnover. If you have employee turnover, it's bad, right? People come and then they quit. Come, quit, come, quit. This is bad. But for inventory, this is good. So if some inventory, imagine you are fixing cars and your inventory is paint, right? So if you buy paint and it's sitting there for 2 years, first the paint maybe it expired already, right? Second thing, so 2 years ago, you took your money, you paid for this paint, and now the paint is sitting and you don't have your cash. So if suddenly you need cash, you don't have it because it's stuck in paint. So you need to go to the bank and borrow money at interest, right? So inventory turnover, if it's high, very good. Lean manufacturing, okay, lean, not fat. As a term, lean manufacturing was first introduced by Womack. The book is about the techniques and concept developed by Taichi Ohno at Toyota. The goal of lean manufacturing is reducing waste with the goal of total elimination, no waste. According to Russell and Taylor, waste is anything other than minimum amount of equipment, material, parts, space, time that are essential to add value to the product. Right? So for example, imagine you have a coffee house, coffee shop. This is your coffee shop. You rent it. This is the counter where you make coffee, and this is table 1, table 2, table 3. And this is empty. So this is waste, right? You rent this coffee shop, so people only sit here. This area is empty, so it's waste. You pay rent for this, but you're not using it. So you need to think. Either you put more tables here, so you have more customers, but if you cannot have more customers, you need smaller coffee shop. If you don't want a smaller coffee shop, maybe you put a wall and find somebody to rent from you, right? Open another shop here. Otherwise, it's waste. space, time, right? Wasted time. So instead of making coffee for 1 minute, it takes you 5 minutes to make coffee. Nobody wants to wait. Parts, right? For example, 1 cup of coffee has 10 grams of coffee beans inside. So it was calculated, right? If you put less coffee powder, then coffee is like water. If you put more, coffee is too strong. So they calculated exactly how much you need to put. So it's not less because it's bad, quality will be bad. And it's not more. More is waste for the company. So at Starbucks, they have special spoons, right? When they make coffee, they have a spoon, like a scoop, that will hold exactly 10 grams. So the employees don't need to think how much to put. It's already been calculated to be more efficient. When you go to, Subway restaurant, sandwiches, they also calculated everything. Like when you put, you say, I would like olives. They put just 1 piece, right? Because if you put a lot, it's a waste for the company. Airplane. When you fly on the airplane, it's very tight. Right now, it's like impossible to move. Again, they calculated, okay, cut space. If everyone sits tightly, then we can put 1 extra row of seats and the company will earn more money. Food. Okay, let's give customers less food and let's sell. Okay, this way we will save money. Many things like this, so you can think. Of course, if you go to extreme, like in England, one low-cost airline said, okay, if you want to use a toilet while you're flying, you have to pay. Right? Customers didn't like that. They said, what? So if I want to go to the toilet, I need to pay money? Are you crazy? Right? This is extreme. So they never introduced this. But this is, you need to find some good balance, right? Good for the customer and good for you. Like save water, save energy, etc. Lean methods. Okay, continue. Lean methods target 8 types of waste. Defects, money and time wasted for finding and fixing mistakes, right? So if you make a defected product, it means customers will return it, then you need to return it to the, it's bad. So for example, in Thailand, often what happens, you go to a restaurant, you give them the order. I would like chicken with rice, but no onion. Okay. They don't repeat the order. So she comes to the kitchen and says, chicken with rice. They cook, they bring to you and you say, I said no onion. Oh, then they go back. Maybe they need to cook again, right? Wasted product. So it would be eliminated if she would repeat the order. Okay, so you wanted chicken with rice. No, with no onion. Oh, okay. Right? So many restaurants in Thailand now, before COVID, they had special things. So the waitress, she has a smartphone and she clicks what you're ordering. And then the cook, the chef at the kitchen, they have a tablet and it appears on the tablet, or there's a printer, right? So it goes directly, and there's maybe no handwriting, everything is automated, so you can see, they can see, and there's no mistakes this way. Okay, so it's a great app for restaurants. So this way they cut waste, because now waitress will not make mistakes. Overproduction, making products faster, sooner, and more than needed. Right? For example, when Apple has iPhone 13, they don't make, they try to make enough for the customers, but they don't want to overproduce. If you have too many products, you invest money in the production, but nobody will buy it. Waiting, time lost because of people, material, or machine waiting, right? You come to the coffee shop and they're like, could you wait 1 hour? We're waiting for coffee to be brought. Okay, all right, who wants to wait? Not using talent of our people, not using experiences and skills, right? You hire your brother to make the website for your company, but he doesn't know anything about websites, so the website sucks, right? And customers are not happy. So you need to hire people who have skills. Hire the best people for website, hire the best people for, you know, other things. Maybe let your brother drive a car. This is better for the company. So many companies have bad websites, and now you know why, because they didn't hire the best. They hired their friends, their relatives, or they made it themselves, so their websites not working. Transportation, movement of people, materials, production, and information, right? You transport, so it needs to go accurately, right? Information is also transported through the internet, so it needs to work efficiently, right? Let's say you save a file online, you hope it's not lost, right? So this is important. Inventory. Raw materials, works in process, and finished goods are more than one piece required for production, right? So do we have waste in inventory? Do we keep a lot of things that are not needed? So for example, often you go to like, let's say Tesco, right? And they have things on sale. Why? Because they bought too much and it's expiring, right? And people are not interested in the product. So if it expires, then they will need to put it in trash. So they reduce the price to invite customers to buy it. And same in transportation. Do we have waste there? Like I told you at the beginning of the class, transportation. Do employees need to be driving to work? It's a waste of time, right? So instead of driving, let them telecommute. Telecommute means work from home. Motion. Any people and machines movements that add no value to product or service. So you hired people to work for the company, and you look, some are working, others are not working. So maybe you need to move them to another department. Or you bought like some machine for your factory and you never use it. Like you have a lot of apps on your phones, right? And some apps you never use, but they take space, right? So maybe you need to delete them, or right? Over processing. tightening tolerances or using better materials than what are necessary. For example, you sell coffee, and this is what's happening in Thailand. Many people open coffee shops, and then it's a new coffee shop. Nobody knows about it. And they go and they buy expensive coffee machines, maybe 100,000 baht, maybe 500,000 baht, very expensive for their coffee shop. And then they sit, they wait for customers. Customers come, okay, how much is your coffee? 50 baht, right? So how many cups of coffee do you need to make to pay for that machine, right? So this is over processing. Maybe they need to think, maybe there's another way to make coffee without buying expensive machines, right? You can buy it later when you have customers. But now, you invested money in the rent, in the furniture. So you don't need over processing, right? Same thing, companies, right? Why iPhone is more expensive than Oppo phone? Because iPhone has expensive process, things. If Oppo will start doing the same quality as iPhone, then they will need to increase the price, right? So companies look, we shouldn't over process. We should, if it's a cheap model, it needs to be cheap, right? That's why there's a difference, between like Mazda car and BMW, right? BMW more processing, but then the price is higher. So look, sometimes more than 90% of firms' overall activities are non-value added. Okay, this phrase. Just a second. Value added. So what is value added? For example, I open a restaurant. I buy papaya. You know papaya, right? Papaya. Papaya. I pay 10 baht. Example, right? I buy one papaya, 10 baht. And I make somtam. Right? And now my papaya becomes somtam salad. I will write, okay, somtam. And it becomes 50 baht. What did I do? Why did people pay more, right? It was 10 baht, now I'm charging 50 baht. I added value, right? I changed it, I made it better. So this is value added. Now people want to pay more. So same thing happens with every company, right? They take materials and they make something. Somebody writes music, somebody writes books, somebody fixes things, right? They take clothes and then they make, they take material, they make clothes, right? So you need to look, is everything and everyone in your company adding value, right? Because for example, you bought papaya at 10 baht and you bought bread. 40 baht. So it's not moving, right? You bought bread, but it's nothing. So it's not adding value. You know, you're selling some tam and it's value added, but bread is doing nothing. So you need to look at your company whether everything is really adding the value to the product. Maybe something is not necessary. Maybe you shouldn't buy bread. Okay. So at first, in the world, you know, many years ago, everything was done by craftsmen, right? There was one guy who was making bags, right? He was making one bag. There was another guy who was making cups, right? And then Henry Ford, right? Mass production. So we all make the car, but I don't make the whole car. I just put one part. You help me, you put another part. So I just do my part and that's it. And it's faster. But lean manufacturing is mass production and craft together, right? So we mass produce, but it's on demand, right? We cut waste. We are trying to reduce cost and improve quality. Lean manufacturing leads to improved product quality, production levels, reduced cycle time, right? Faster. Raw product in, finished product out. Coffee shop, raw product, coffee bean, water. You make coffee, done. Improved on-time delivery, better space, machine labor utilization, right? How do you utilize space? Maybe you need less space. So this is what I heard. Many companies now, for example, in Bangkok, they will move online and they will stop renting offices. So these offices maybe will become condominiums, right? People want apartments and companies will not rent. So those construction companies that are building buildings now, it will become apartments because many companies will move to work online. Labor utilization, right? Decreased cost, quicker inventory investment, right? You invest, you get, you use, you sell, you get more. Okay, just a second. Okay, there's another one. Kaizen. Continuous improvement. Okay, so if you are not improving, then you will die. Like not the person, but the company. There's always threats coming, right? Situation is always changing. So if you don't adapt to the changes, you cannot survive. So for example, you are a company and you know, like everyone says, let's work online, and you are saying, no, we don't work online. Then you cannot survive, right? Let's move all documents in electronic format. No, we only use paper. And then your competitors are using electronic format. It means they will be faster, right? If they need to find a document, they will find in 5 seconds. And for you, it takes half a day. So all the customers will go to the company that can find documents quickly. right? So these are the examples. Continuous improvement in everything. You see, example, airlines now sell tickets online, right? Before you had to call the company, they would mail you the actual ticket. They moved online. Many companies are now selling everything online. Food is online. So it's a continual improvement, adapting to the situation. Situations change. You cannot do the same forever. The Kaizen rapid improvement process is the foundation of lean manufacturing. It holds that by applying small but incremental changes routinely over a long period of time, a firm can realize considerable improvements, right? So let's say I worked for a company in the US. So every Friday, our team would meet with the supervisor, and then he would tell us the company news, some, problems that, happened. And then he would ask us, like, what problems we see, what solutions we, and no one was afraid to say anything because we're discussing, things, and then he tries to help us. So it's good because we're always improving. It's like, oh, maybe we should do this, maybe it's like that, right? You are always changing a little bit and improving the process, because it's better to change a little bit every day rather than change everything overnight, and then it will not hold. Okay, it's hard to do big changes, but smaller changes are easier to digest. Kaizen involves workers from all levels of organization in addressing specific process and identifying waste in the process. For example, I'm the director of the company. I don't see everything. I cannot see everything. So I need to be friendly with employees, and they will help me see waste. What is wasted, right? For example, what I see in the building here at the university, we have 3 elevators. I want to go up, and no one is, I'm the only one in the building. I call the elevator, and all 3 elevators come. So there's no computer that will tell the other 2, okay, elevator 1 is coming, so you can stay, right? They're all coming. So this is the computer problem of the elevator system. So when they all come to me and suddenly someone else wants an elevator, then they press the button, this elevator will understand that, it needs to go up. And so they're moving non-stop, and it's a lot of electricity, okay? So if the elevator company would install this small program, it would save electricity, right? So I see it. So same thing, if you're running a company, you need to tell your employees to talk to you openly, and they will tell you what they see, what can be changed to improve the situation. So that money, instead of wasting it on electricity, could be used, on something else, right? After finding possible waste, the team tries to find solutions, right? So we find areas that are wasting our resources, and we find solutions to eliminate them, and then quickly apply chosen solutions. Okay, so we find solution and then we apply it, right? So I find the problem, solution is program the elevators, and it needs to quickly be done, right? Not, oh, we'll do it next year. Next year, maybe there's something else, right? After implementing improvements, periodic events ensure that the improvement is sustained. So every few months need to check if it's still working, or maybe it needs to be programmed again. This is what's happening with apps, right? With your apps on your phone. This is why they're always updating, they're checking, right? Every time you have a problem, you have a crash, program crash, it will send reports. So they collect it. Or you're not happy, you write a report, review, they collect it, they analyze it, they do improvements, then they wait again and see maybe something. That's why you have Windows 10, Windows 11, right? They're changing, improving. They're looking what the other companies are doing, right? They also look, oh, now we have more powerful computers, so maybe we can increase the capacity of the program. Okay. Okay, just a second, please. Just a moment. Okay, so just a second. So let's watch this video. It's about Japanese office. How you will see how the work is done, because logistics applies not just to factory, coffee shop. It also applies to office, right? How to organize the work of many people, right? Let's say you are office, you're working on some project, maybe you're a newspaper or TV station. You have many people, you have many teams, many projects, all working on something, or maybe you're developing you're engineering office, you're developing an aircraft, how to organize everything. So let's see how Japanese are doing it. And please think, is it the same in the offices in your country or not?
You guys what it's like to work in a Japanese office. This is Emi, a 24-year-old Japanese woman working in Tokyo, and she's just waking up. This is her morning routine. She doesn't take a shower to get ready for work, as some may assume. Like many Japanese, she prefers taking a bath in the evening before she goes to bed instead. Emmy, how long does it take to put on your makeup?
5分ぐらいです。もう時間がないので適当です。
Nice spread, but who made breakfast for you?
いつもいっぱい映ってくれるんですけど、全然食べれません。もう時間がないです。
Well, Emmy completely bailed on breakfast. It's okay though, she's trying to be on time. In fact, many Japanese just grab a small breakfast like an onigiri from the convenience store on their way to work. So if you didn't notice already, Emmy still lives with her family, which is a fairly common thing in Japan, even after graduating from university. Emmy commutes to work by train, but the closest train station from her house is about a 10-minute walk. The average commute time in Tokyo is about 45 minutes to an hour. An hour train ride in the morning sounds a bit long, but Emmy is quite lucky as she doesn't need to transfer trains in the morning like others. So this is the train right now, it's arriving. It's such a long ride.
1時間ずっとこんな満員電車でぎゅうぎゅうで、朝早いと混んでなくて寝坊すると混みます。
So Emmy's office is located in the Otemachi area, which is considered Tokyo's premier business district. She works for a company called Persona, one of the largest staffing service companies in Japan. There's about 4,000 staff in her office alone, and about 9,000 in total worldwide. Is this building only Persona people?
いや、パーソナ以外も入ってます。
You don't have a monitor?
あります。モニターある人はいるんですけど、私はないです。
And that's Emmy's boss. Super friendly. And this is Emmy's office. As you can see, very open and colorful compared to most Japanese offices. Since Emmy works in the PR department, her first task of the day is to read all the newspapers, so she's up to speed with what's going on in Japan and the rest of the world. And today's Monday, so she has to catch up on all the news over the weekend, so she's in a bit of a rush. Check out this view outside. It's pretty dope. Is everyone here doing the same job?
そうですね。朝はみんなだいたい新聞を読みます。
How are people seated in the office?
こことこことこの3つが広報部です。
So check this out. This happens often in Japanese offices. This lady is passing out souvenir sweets from her vacation. It's called omiyage in Japanese. It's customary in Japan to bring something back from your vacation for people in the office. It's kind of a way to show gratitude to others for letting you take a break from work and for them covering you while you're away. Oh, and there's another person doing it. In my 15 plus years in Japan, I've never seen anyone forget to do this. So one thing I'm really noticing is just how quiet this office is. There's not a lot of loud voices, which I guess when working in a workspace like this where it's all open, it's very, very helpful. Literally, it's like actually fairly respectable. Not a lot of people are like talking or gabbing. You can actually get work done here because like no one's too loud. People actually don't wear headphones, and in my previous office I used to wear headphones, but that was probably just me. But I actually noticed something interesting. I don't know if it's something worldwide. There was a desk with a little humidifier on it. Is that something that's just Japan, or does the rest of the world where like people have humidifiers on their desk because the air is too dry? So what I'm showing you right now is the company's morning assembly meeting. In Japanese, it's called chore, and it takes place every morning. I'm kind of surprised that Emmy's company still does this, being as progressive as they are, as you see this more commonly practiced in old traditional Japanese companies. Basically, during the meeting, they share important company news from different departments. I suppose it's equivalent to today's company email newsletter blast. Then, after the company-wide meeting finishes, each department gets together and they do the same thing. Okay, since Emmy's busy with her work, let's play Curious George and explore the office a bit. So let's just go down here and see what they have. So you can see this is the pantry area. So she fills all the water heating pots up in the morning. It's then later used to make tea, which is served during client meetings throughout the day.
So this is quite interesting because this is one of the executive offices here, and you can see that there's no wall here. It's an open space, just like this entire office. So I just found out the CEO has a whole stack of blank birthday cards to give out to people. What he uses it for is like he knows a lot of people apparently, and when he remembers their birthday, he just grabs the card he likes here and then writes out the birthday card and sends it. But I'm really liking his style. It's pretty dope.
Emmy, where are you going?
とりあえず朝の仕事終わったので一旦ちょっと朝の運動してからまた戻ってきて仕事してお昼ご飯食べます。
It's crazy. She's actually gonna work out in the middle of the day at 10 o'clock right now.
It's quite progressive in my opinion that a company allows employees to work out during the day, let alone having a full gym built inside of the office. You do need to pay a monthly fee though, and if you want, they have personal trainers to customize your workout.
It's pretty neat that they can like work out in the middle of the day, but she's actually still wearing her suit. If you do want to come here and like get a full workout on, then you can do that as well. Check that out. Slippers on top of my shoes. Pretty cool. So you can like come here, wear your regular shoes with the slippers on.
お昼ご飯まであと1時間ぐらい頑張ります。
So Emmy, you have an hour until lunch break. What are you working on now?
淡路島の広報を担当しているので、今から淡路島の案件の仕事をやります。
How do you like your job?
いやでも面白いです。難しいけど面白い。勉強になります。
So now, she's making phone calls and doing your standard computer work, checking emails, drafting documents, filling out reports, etc. You know the deal if you've ever worked in an office.
So another interesting thing is the CEO actually just sits right here in the center of the office. His chair is just right here. I think it's pretty impressive that he just sits right around everyone and anyone can just like talk to him when he's here. What do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer having like blocked off cubicles or do you like this open office style? One thing though, he does have the nicest seat in the office. That's one difference. So I'm in their seminar room right now. Emmy's downstairs doing her work. So let's explore the office. I heard there might be a Konbini on the 3rd floor, so let's go check it out. Wow, it's a proper konbini. It has like everything you would want. It has drinks, it has like bakery stuff, even has some bentos, all the onigiris you would want. It's kind of cool just like walking around this place.
Here's a quick peek into the little boy's room. Not much different than the rest of the world. Oh wait, maybe except the sound button built into the bidet. It's helped to mask noises when using the toilet. Never really heard anyone use it in the men's office toilet, but apparently it's almost always used in the women's toilet. I guess women are more embarrassed to let others hear their, noises?
Oh, I heard about this. This is a global salon. Let's go inside and check it out.
Oh wow, it's nice to see the employees working on their English skills.
And so apparently they even have this open space here for everyone to use, which is nice. Look, man, Emmy has a sweet office. They shouldn't have let me just walk around by myself this whole entire time.
Finally, lunchtime!
大倉さん行けますか?
She's asking coworkers if they want to go to lunch together. You probably don't notice, but she's using keigo, which is a polite form of Japanese. So I'm guessing that Emmy's talking to her coworkers that are more senior than her, called senpai, which makes her the kohai, and it's probably one of the more difficult things to master for a non-Japanese working in a Japanese office. Oh, in Japan, it's not only polite to hold the open elevator button for everyone to get out, but sometimes people will go back and forth on who'll hold the elevator open, as it's another way to earn those office respect points.
So the first floor has this bakery and then they have salads over there, and if you're an employee here you get a discount, and so I guess we get to just choose all the like bread that we want.
So I found out that all the food sold at this bakery is made in the building by the company's subsidiary called Persona Hartful. They employ workers and artists with disabilities, and their philosophy is talent knows no handicap, which I think is pretty cool. They even create a lot of the art seen throughout the office, including the Olympic designs we saw at the elevator earlier today. And what's wonderful is that the first floor cafeteria area is open to the public. So if any of you decide to visit the office, I definitely recommend getting the Shio Butter Pan. It's amazing.
この塩パンが人気です。毎日作ってくださって、今これは出来たての塩パンです。
Something else you may not know if you've never seen it before. The wet towels provided with your food is to wipe your hands before you eat. Just wanted to mention it since many countries don't offer wet towels. Another thing that might surprise you is that everyone's eating their salad with chopsticks. And when you finish, you've got to clean up your garbage and put away your trays or plates if they have any. This is also common in Japanese fast food joints like McDonald's or soba shops. Anyway, I've gotten used to all these since I've been in Japan for so long. But what do you think about the wet towels, salad chopsticks, or even cleaning up after yourself?
They have a farm up here we're gonna check out.
So we have a few more minutes before Emmy has to go back to the office. So Emmy asked me if I wanted to check out the farm. Yeah, you heard me. A real deal farm in the office. I was pretty surprised myself. Apparently, it's open to the public, so if you want to take your kids and pet the animals, it's all good. I personally prefer to see animals in their natural habitat, but to each their own.
You can actually come up here during your break time and feed animals. I mean, she's like pretty lucky to be here working for this company because you don't get a lot of Japanese companies like this progressive or like that offer like so many services. But I do have allergies, so I gotta keep my mask on.
Oh, and they even have fierce-looking owls. Oh, and just in case you're wondering about the animals' well-being, I'm told the facility provides 24-hour ventilation, the animals are returned to an outside farm every few months, and the owls are allowed to fly around the entire floor in the evenings.
That was actually pretty cool.
So in the afternoon, she has several meetings packed into her schedule.
今から先輩に健康チェックしてもらいます。打ち合わせです。
She has a health check?
あ、違う違う。原稿、文章。
So there's a difference between Genko and Kenko. Genko check, not health check.
So basically, her senpai reviews the document she made and provides feedback to finalize it.
あと5分ぐらいしたらこれ淡路島とミーティングします。
Awaji Island is an island in the southwestern part of Japan. Emmy's currently working on a project there, so she has regular video conferences with that office.
5:52 right now. It's not even 6, and people are already starting to head out. I mean, if you look around, there's still people that are working, obviously, but I think we're heading out now.
I guess she's done.
お先に失礼します。お疲れ様です。
In old school Japanese companies, it would have been death to leave the office before your superiors. In fact, I have several friends working in those type of offices and they're always working late. Seems like Emmy's office is way more flexible and lets you leave when you finish your work for the day. Makes sense, right? Apparently, the restaurant in the basement floor is free for employees. That's amazing, isn't it? And you guys know, I love free. I don't think the beer is free though. So all 4 women work at the same company, but 2 of them work in sales on a completely different floor.
私の同期です。みんな24歳。
They all met a few years back during company training. See, when new grads enter a company for the first time, they're required to go through formal company training called Kenshu in Japanese. It's different with each company, but in their case, they actually had an induction ceremony, spent 1 week off-site together, and had an additional 2.5 months of training at the office.
This is like how it's supposed to be, right? A regular work day in Japan. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, if you thought there's anything that...
Okay, so just a second. This is how it's done in Japan, right? Again, there's some certain logistics elements, right? Meetings in the morning for the whole company, meeting for the team. And again, this is not a factory. They're working with clients, working in the office, right? If people are not happy, if people are not relaxed, then they cannot work with clients well, right? So the company cares about the quality of work, so they let people have, like they can go to the gym, right? Same thing with Google. And I'm not sure, is she working from home now? Because looks like all her work is with documents or online, so maybe now they're working online, so she doesn't need to travel. Imagine, in the morning, 1 hour to work, 1 hour back to work. So she finished at 6, and then she goes to restaurant, maybe the 7th plus 1 hour. So she comes home at 8, and then she needs to wake up at 6 a.m. again, right? So this is all logistics, and you know, today we studied Japanese philosophies, right? So please, if you are still confused, please read about them, right? What is lean logistics? Okay, pull, push, Kanban. Okay, please form some kind of understanding. Okay, just a second. Doesn't. Okay, just a second. Okay, so again, if you want to know more or you want to read it in your language, you can go to Wikipedia. So for example, Kaizen, Sino-Japanese word for improvement, right? Continual improvement for the in the workplace. For this, they have meetings, right? Company meetings, team meetings. You want to see what problems there are, right? So again, if you say, what are the problems? No problems, no problems. No, don't. Employees shouldn't be afraid. Employees should be open. Oh, there's this problem. Can we fix it? Right? So good concept. Kaizen. This is why Japanese companies, right? Their cars, Toyota, Honda, electronics, right? Number one. Why? Because they continually improve. So even though, yes, in Japan, someone is senior, someone is, more or less important, but people who work at the bottom, they see things better. Okay, next is Kanban. Okay, Kanban. What is Kanban? Japanese meaning scheduling system for lean manufacturing, just-in-time manufacturing. Okay, so this is Japanese, just-in-time. Right, so Taiichi Ocho, industrial engineer at Toyota, developed Kanban to improve manufacturing efficiency. The system takes its name from the cards that track production, right? So we have order to produce, there was order to make cars. So we order parts and we make that. We assemble the cars. We don't hold inventory. Okay. So today we studied lean logistics, right? So we need to understand what is value, what is important, right? The product. We need to look at the product flow. Okay, we need to minimize stocks, inventory. okay, and have less transportation because it's expensive. So what is important? What are we producing, right? Quality coffee. So we need to think, okay, you come to the shop, you order, then you wait, then you get your coffee, right? How it works. We need to minimize inventory, right? Work on the customer demand. When customers want it, we will assemble it. We will order it from other suppliers. So, for example, you want to buy a new computer from Dell. You order with Dell, and immediately Dell tells people, companies that have spare parts to send it to Dell, so Dell can assemble it and sell it to the consumer. Just in time, right? So, okay, this it's a good idea. Just in time logistics. Practice of ordering supplies when you need them. So what happens now is, you know, if I'm hungry, I order food, right? And Grab or Lineman or Panda Express will deliver it to me. Right at the moment when I'm hungry, it will be fresh. But the problem is if everything works, right? If the restaurant is open, if there's no traffic jams, right? So, okay, if it's within one city, what if it's, you know, coming from China? Will it come on time, right? So maybe I need to order before, a little bit before. Okay, just so the difference, push to pull logistics, right? Push. Suppliers send stuff to the factory, right? They don't care what people want. They just keep making it, right? Okay, let's make 100 cars. And so they start making it. And then the cars will wait for the customers to be there. Full logistics, right? We're waiting for the customer to order it. And then they share information. Then they tell manufacturer, hey, they ordered the car, quickly assemble it for them, right? Again, it depends on the product, right? It takes several, I don't know how long to make a car, to assemble a car, right? And the car has many parts from different factories. But coffee shops, right? Coffee shops, a good example of pull logistics. You come, you are the customer, you come and you place the order and it's coming to you in a few minutes, right? This is the same thing, McDonald's, KFC, right? You come, you place the order, and then they quickly start producing everything because everything is ready. They just need to make it for you, right? Of course, they could make 100 hamburgers and sit and wait, but then they will not be fresh. And what if they cannot sell, right? So they assemble it for you. Okay, so I will send you a quiz a little bit later about this push-pull, lean, just-in-time, Kaizen, and Kanban. So please read it. I will share the links after I finish the class. Okay, and then so next week we review everything for the midterm, and then the following week you will have your midterm. Do you have any questions?
No question.
Okay, so if you don't have questions, then I will share these things with you so you can study at home. And then I think later today or tomorrow, I will send you your quiz. And please start reviewing everything in the book. You can read it in your languages to kind of understand it, and then more. And then next week, we will review everything, and I will explain to you how your exam will be. Okay, so I stop recording. I will put it online, and then